So, hey everybody, hope you're all enjoying your August. So I enjoyed watching the parts of the Olympics. I didn't manage to watch all of the events and all the amazing activities that happened over in Tokyo, but one thing that I was really inspired by was seeing how many moms with young children participated and did really well. And so, I mean, I don't think I'll be going into the Olympics anytime soon, but I just was really encouraged to see that and how awesome it is. Anyway, just like a random thought quick before I get into my topic of my video today, which is about something that I recently learned about, which is a word called collective, it's actually two words, so collective effervescence. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's an actual sociological explanation for something that seems pretty obvious, and that is when people with shared purpose come together, there's a sense of connection and enthusiasm that spreads through the whole group and makes everyone feel happier than they were when they started their get-together or whatever. A really small-scale example of this, which I love, are those videos of where there's like a spontaneous performance of like Beethoven's Ninth on a street corner and everyone gets like swept into it. Like random acts of culture or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of different things, but just go onto YouTube and have a blast watching that. Anyway, apparently people who regularly experience collective effervescence are healthier and happier. So this doesn't just happen at any gathering of people, like a business meeting, for example. There has to be a shared experience that brings out excitement and energy and unifies everyone who is part of it, although, that actually could happen at a business meeting, I guess. When you're part of something like that, you stop thinking of yourself as an individual, but rather as part of something bigger than yourself, which is always a healthy thing. As I read up a bit on this phenomenon, I learned that people who pursue happiness on their own may actually become lonelier, which you wouldn't necessarily think that, but it's true. Where people pursue happiness with others by connecting with them, they actually get even happier. So, go happy people. There's probably a study that I could reference here, but it seems quite logical. It's easy to be anxious or depressed when I'm by myself, but when's the last time I laughed when I was by myself? It just doesn't happen that often, except when I'm remembering when I laugh. I sometimes laugh to myself when I'm remembering the time when I laughed with other people. Or something my kids did. Anyway, on one level, collective effervescence happens when Chris watches the Steelers playing football with a bunch of his friends. And suddenly, no matter what differences they may have or what their day has been like till then, they forget everything and just go crazy cheering for the team and shouting things. And when it's over, they're all definitely happier unless the team loses, but then they can console each other, and I guess they can be happy consoling each other. But on a deeper level, this whole idea is really at the heart of living in community. Getting together with other people is one of the things I love the most about where I live, and it more than makes up for the humdrum of daily life, and it's really not that hard to do. It kind of seems that collective effervescence happens in the most common, everyday kind of events, like sharing a meal with a group of people, which is something that we do here very regularly. Of course, not every mealtime is a full-blown festival. Sometimes it's as simple as singing a song all together, eating whatever kind of food the kitchen crew has prepared, and then cleaning it up. But fairly regularly, communal gatherings are real celebrations of whatever happens to be going on. Maybe a new family has just arrived, or there's a wedding or a wedding anniversary, or it's at the end of summer and the beginning of a new school year. So I'm sure pretty soon we'll be having a lot of celebrations. Anyway, we all get together and have a great time celebrating, usually with good food and good drink as well. So when I was thinking about this, I actually found some beautiful thoughts on celebrating that I'd like to share with you, and they're from Richard Foster, who is a theologian living in Colorado. And as I was just realizing that he lived in Colorado, I mean, we really should have just looked him up when we were over there in the Rockies in June. Anyway, I'll read his thoughts. Okay. I even put my marker in. Woo. Okay, so here goes. Far and away, the most important benefit of celebration is that it saves us from taking ourselves too seriously. This is a desperately needed grace. It's an occupational hazard of devout folk to become stuffy bores. This should not be. Of all people, we should be the most free, alive, and interesting. Celebration adds a note of festivity and hilarity to our lives. After all, Jesus rejoiced so fully in life that he was accused of being a wine bibber. Did I say that? Did I pronounce that right? Okay, being a wine bibber and a glutton. Many of us lead such sour lives that we cannot possibly be accused of such things. Now, I'm not recommending a periodic romp in sin, but I am suggesting that we do need deeper, more earthy experiences of exhilaration. It is healing and refreshing to cultivate wide appreciation for life. Our spirit can become weary with straining after God, just as our body can become weary with overwork. Celebration helps us relax and enjoy the good things of the earth. Okay, and then he goes on in another part here. Another benefit of celebration is its ability to give us perspective. We can laugh at ourselves. We can see that the causes we champion are not nearly so monumental as we would like to believe. In celebration, the high and mighty regain their balance, and the weak and lowly receive new stature. Who can be high or low at the festival of God? Together, the rich and the poor, the powerful and the powerless, all celebrate the glory and wonder of God. Okay, so I love that quote. So on that happy note, I will say goodbye and see you all next week.